Blessings, family. I am excited about our conversation today. I want to let you know that, hey, I'm on here. And so do me a favor and invite somebody. Pull up a chair, get your utensils today because, of course, y'all already know that lunch is going to be on me today. All right. If you are watching me live, do me a favor, share this conversation. Tag somebody, invite somebody that will invite somebody to join us on our conversation or in our conversation on today. Of course, y'all already know I need a drum roll in the comment section if you can, because I want to do roll call today. All right, so I want you all to drop your city and your state in the chat. I want to check out our demographic. I want to see who I'm talking to, and I want to see where you're from. So do me a favor and drop your city in your state in the chat and let us know where you are logged on from. All right, I'll give you an opportunity to do so. And while you're doing that, as far as I could see, I'll be shouting you out as you come in the chat. Join me in the chat. So I want to shout out right now. I want to shout out my brother Alex McKay. How you doing? I want to shout out my sister there, Oxford, Mississippi is in the building, all right? Hattiesburg is in the building. LaKenda say she watching us, y'all, from Mandeville, Louisiana. Brother Tom is in the chat. What's going on, Brother Tom? We're excited about other things that are coming up in ministry, so I want y'all to stay tuned. Keep your ears and eyes open because we have some great things that are coming down the pipeline. All right, keep them coming, keep them coming. So far, we have Mississippi and Louisiana that's joining us in the chat. Hey, baby, do you hear me? Baby is in the chat today, and she says she's watching on from Wiggins, Mississippi. All right. While you're coming on, do us a favor. Share as much as you can this conversation because I believe it's going to be the catalyst that's going to take us from one place in our mentality to another place. And by the end of this conversation, I believe God's going to elevate our thought life today. And so this is a great conversation. And I'm going to let you know that while you are coming on, Rena, what's going on? Sister Karina is in the chat. Blessings to you. Blessings to you. She says she's on from Bassville, Mississippi. All right. So I want to let you all know that are coming on for the first time our mission and why this space exists. And I want to tell you that Lunch on Me is for purpose-driven people. All right. If you are a person of purpose, this platform is for you. All right. And I want to let you know that we not on here for no hype. Do you hear me? No performance, just clarity conversations for purpose-driven people, all right? That's what I'm talking to. I want to give a great big shout out to my sister, all right? Prophetess Deanna Benson. How are you doing? Welcome to Lunch on Me. We have a great conversation today, and I'm excited to have you all eating lunch with me. And of course, I want to tell you this is not just conversations for purpose-driven people. This is not just food for thought conversations, but I want to let you know, for those of you all that stay active in the chat, I'm going to be picking a person or some persons, and I'm going to be gifting you lunch on me for real, y'all. Somebody going to get lunch today, and that's going to be on me. Do you hear me? That's on me. So that's what we're going to be doing. And of course, we have something, a lot of people, some people they call them icebreakers just to start conversation. But because this is a platform that loves to provide clarity, we have something called clarity questions, all right? And so our clarity question for today is this. Have you ever had to manage being misunderstood by moving in purpose? That's our clarity question. I want y'all to be active in the chat today. Our clarity question again is, have you ever had to manage being misunderstood while moving in purpose. Have you ever? All right. You know your intentions. You know your heart, but the narrative around you doesn't match the reality in you. If that's you today and you've ever been there in that place, I want you to put in the chat, misunderstood. Yeah, put that in the chat. Misunderstood. If you know what it's like to be a person of purpose, but having to manage being misunderstood while moving in purpose, I want y'all to put that in the chat today, all right? While you're coming on, do me a favor and share this conversation, all right? Shout out to Elder Bush that's in the chat. Also, shout out to my brother, my daddy's firstborn son. His namesake, Sir PJ, is in the building. Y'all welcome him on the lunch on me today. All right. Yeah, y'all put it in there. Misunderstood. If you ever had to manage that while working in purpose or walking in purpose, put misunderstood. Now, of course, all of y'all know that are on here, I will always go first. All right. I want to be the individual that's always going to be transparent about where I've been, where I am, and also where I think I'm going. All right. I believe that transparency is the breeding ground for healing, for success in life. All right. I believe it is the breeding ground for miracles. All right. Transparency. So I'll always be transparent. And so this is my transparent moment. I want to let you know, if I can be completely transparent with you, I'm going to bear it all, y'all. So get ready. If I can be completely transparent with you, I want to go on record to say that there has never really been a season in my life where I did not face some degree of suffering. All right. My God, I feel like the lady on The Color Purple. All my life, I done had to fight. Y'all ain't gonna go with me today. And some of y'all are in that position as well. And so I wanna tell you that even in seasons where I've experienced the height of a harvest, I've yet had to face the discomfort of being misunderstood, all right? And so I want to let you know that I am an individual that don't just sympathize with you in this conversation, I empathize with you as well, all right? And I want to tell you something that I learned while going through and navigating these seasons, all right? You don't always suffer because you're wrong. And I want you to hear me, those who feel like you've been misunderstood while walking in purpose. I want to tell you that you don't always suffer because you're wrong. Sometimes you're suffering because you're righteous. All right? I want somebody to put that in the chat. You don't always suffer because you're wrong. Sometimes you are blessed to be able to suffer because you are righteous, all right? And some seasons in your life, I want to tell you, you're going to suffer the cost of being misunderstood, all right? I want to tell somebody that even while you are walking on the right road in purpose, there's going to be some seasons where you're going to suffer persecution as an evildoer, all right? Not on the wrong road, but on the right one, all right? But I want to encourage somebody that's been in seasons of suffering and did not necessarily have the verbiage, didn't have the language to understand why I'm going through this at this juncture and this stage of my life. Why do it always seem like in certain seasons of my life, I'm always being misunderstood? I want to tell you that there's going to be some seasons where you're going to suffer persecution like an evildoer. But I want to tell you and encourage you today on this Lunch on Me conversation, in this conversation today, that you're not suffering because you're cursed. You're suffering because you're called. Do you hear me? Yeah, you ain't cursed. You're called. And that's what I want to provide clarity right there and let somebody know that you ain't suffering because you are cursed. The reason why we're suffering, even being misunderstood, is because we're called. All right. Shout out to Lady Hill that's in the chat. My brother, Apostle Mark Pickett, messed us up this Sunday, y'all, last Sunday. And I want to appreciate God for him being in the chat. Y'all put that in the chat. I'm not suffering, even being misunderstood. I'm not suffering because I'm cursed. Sometimes you will suffer because you're called. All right. And I'm going to tell somebody something that give you a different perspective on being misunderstood. Can I do that? And I'm going to tell you this. When you suffer for righteousness' sake, now there's a kind of suffering that we undergo, not because of righteousness, not because of Christ, it's because we made a bad decision. All right. And let's get that on out the way. Everybody ain't suffering, my God, because they decided to follow Jesus. All right. The ladies on. Y'all put hearts all over the screen for my wife coming on. The lady is in this building. Yeah. I want to tell you, sometimes it ain't always the devil. And we'll blame a lot of stuff on the devil. All right. Y'all with me at Lunch on Me. So y'all just got to come on and walk with me down this yellow brick road today. And I want to let you know, some people over spiritualize certain seasons in their life. Some seasons was not orchestrated by God. It was orchestrated by certain decisions that we made. And so I want to tell you that it ain't always the devil. Sometimes it's the decision. All right. But we're going to get beyond that and really talk about what I want to talk about today. Whenever you suffer for righteousness' sakes, I want to tell you that it brings you into fellowship with the life of Christ. All right. I want to help somebody that feel like you've always been misunderstood. When you suffer for righteousness' sake, it brings you into fellowship with the life of Christ. Now, whenever we read of his rejection, of Christ's rejection, we don't just hear it. Now we know it because we become partakers of his life. All right. The Bible said, if you suffer with Christ, then you're going to reign with him. I love the Apostle Paul, who didn't mind suffering for the sake of Christ, because it becomes, whenever we do that, we become a partaker of the life of Christ. Not something that we just hear now. Now we know, because we are privileged to undergo some things that Christ underwent in his journey in the earth. All right. And when you suffer with him, I want to tell you, you're going to reign with him. All right. The Apostle Peter says it like this in 1 Peter 4:16. Yet if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify God on this behalf. And I want to let you know something. I want, in my transparent moment, if I'm honest with you, I've been misunderstood. I really want to talk to somebody. I really want to help somebody. I want to tell you in this transparent moment that I've been misunderstood. And I'm also being misunderstood. All right. I want to be honest to let you know that I've been misjudged and I'm being misjudged. I've been criticized, scandalized, ostracized, and I'm being all of those sizes. Do you hear me? And so are you. But I want to encourage you to give you clarity on why and the reason you're being misunderstood. All right. I hope I'm helping somebody. The common denominator in all of these seasons that I've undergone and that I'm yet undergoing is the fact that I found out that the reason why I'm being misunderstood is because I've been called by Christ. I'm going somewhere. I don't want to get there too soon. I kind of want to take the long way around today. But I want to tell somebody that the common denominator in seasons where you're being misunderstood might be your calling. All right? And I want to tell you, when you understand that you're called, you've got to learn and earn and understand that whatever happens to me on this journey of my calling, me being called, it's not happening to me, it's happening for me. All right? I want somebody to get active in the chat and put that down there. Zelda Pittman, when we understand that we are people that are driven by purpose and driven by a call that God has given unto us, I want to tell you that things are not happening to you. They are happening for you, all right? I believe it was the Apostle Paul, I want to say in Romans 8:18, he says, "For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time is not worthy to be compared to the glory that shall be revealed in us." Have anybody on this live is gaining clarity as it relates to the why you're being misunderstood? All right. I want to tell you that the why you're being misunderstood is directly, what if I told you, is directly attached and connected to the fact that you're called. I want to talk to people that's done been misunderstood. Shout out to my brother-in-law, all right? First person I ever, one of the first persons I told about this Lunch on Me platform. He's in the chat. Y'all clap it up for him. He's joining us, all right? Yeah, he's joining us. Thank y'all for coming on. Listen, I'm not going to hold y'all long today, but I want to get to my main conversation, all right? If this is helping you today, I want you to make it known. This is helping me. Yeah, this is helping me. Though I've been misunderstood, I understand why, all right? Our main conversation that I want to jump into right now is this. I want to tell you that being misunderstood is one of the costs of being called, all right? I'm going to say it for somebody else that's in the back. Being misunderstood while operating in your purpose is one of the costs of being called. Do you hear me? I want somebody to put that in the chat. There's a cost that comes with being called. If you're on here, I want to see you. I'm talking about the chat should be on fire, should be dancing, should be moving. There should be an earthquake going on in the chat right now. I want somebody to put that in the chat. There is a cost, and some of us don't realize it, but there is a cost that comes with being called, and one of those costs is being misunderstood. About to help somebody. Can I tell you something? You are a person of purpose. And I want to tell you something. Your purpose is powerful, but it comes with a price. Do you hear me? I just want to know who I'm talking to today at Lunch on Me. You are a person of purpose. And I want to tell you that your purpose is powerful, but it comes with a price. And in this soft era that we living in, we have a tendency to forget, all right? In this microwave society that we're living in, we have a tendency to forget that some stuff got a price tag on it, and I can't borrow the money from somebody else. I got to pay for it myself. Do you hear me? And I want to tell you in our main conversation is that being misunderstood is one of the costs of being called, all right? I just want to help somebody, LaKenda. And while I'm right there, I want to get in our business for a little bit, for a minute. Blessings, Sister Farrah. How you doing? I want to get in our business for a minute. And I want to help a person of purpose who always feel like you've got to be the first person to tell your side. You know, you've been in a season where you've been misunderstood and you're tired of it, and you want to be your own lawyer and plead your case, and you want to run down every story, want to run down every accusation because you want to get the story told straight. I want to help a person of purpose today who always feel like you got to be the first one to defend yourself by telling your side. Can I help you? Sister Mona is on. How you doing? Apostle Mac, my friend, is on. How you doing? I want to help somebody, person of purpose, who always feel like you got to be the first person to tell your side. My God, I'm waiting on somebody. I'm waiting on the unction. I feel it coming on. And I want to tell you something. Just because your side of the story is relevant doesn't mean it needs to be revealed right now. Let that sit with you. We talk about being misunderstood. Let that sit with you. K-Honor is on. I want to let that sit with you. Just because your side of the story is relevant don't mean it need to be revealed right now. Do you hear me? Sometimes we quick to tell, we want to be quick to, in seasons of being misunderstood, to tell our side of the story, to make sure if the story is going to be told, it need to be told right. But I want to help somebody. Sometimes you have to learn to be comfortable in silence during loud seasons about your side of the story. That's what I want to tell you. I'm going to back it up, say it one more time. Sometimes we have to be comfortable enough in our maturity to be comfortable in silence during loud seasons about your side. Can I tell you something? We've also got to gain the maturity enough to allow time to talk for you. Time gonna tell it. Do you hear me? Yeah, I'm talking to you about your side of the story. Sometimes you got to learn how to be comfortable with being silent in loud seasons about your side. Because I'm gonna tell you something about the truth. The truth can't be hidden long. And nobody tells the truth better than time. Y'all don't want to hear me today. I can tell y'all don't want to hear me. I can tell y'all don't want to hear me today. Coach, they don't want to hear me. No one tells the truth better than time. All right? I'm talking to you that's being misunderstood. I'm talking to you that feel like you got to plead your case. I'm talking about you that want to be your own lawyer in your court of appeal concerning being misunderstood. I want to tell you, sometimes you got to sit in your place of maturity and let time tell the truth. Nobody tells the truth better than time. Do you hear me? I want to tell you something else. Another cost to being called, not just being misunderstood, it's getting ready to get heavy. Might get a little dangerous in the chat today. But I want to tell you this, another cost of being called is not just being misunderstood, it's also being misjudged. Have anybody, a person of purpose, ever felt like they didn't get me right? Do you hear me? Yeah, ever felt like I don't feel like that. That's not my intention. Those are not my motives, but I'm being misjudged. And sometimes it seems like you can't do nothing about it. That's another cost. If you're going to walk in purpose, you got to learn how to get your checkbook ready. My God, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take a commercial break in a minute because this might be a little tough. Do you hear me? Not only are you going to be misunderstood because of purpose, Tevin, I want to help the people and tell them sometimes you're going to also be misjudged. And you got to figure out how to be cool with that. Not only will you be, while walking in purpose, misunderstood, you're going to be misjudged. And in certain seasons, you're going to also be mishandled. These are costs. What I'm talking to you about is the cost of being called. All right? And if you're going to walk in purpose, I want to tell you that you got to be mature enough to carry that weight. My God, it's getting heavy. It's getting heavy. It's getting heavy, but I believe somebody's going to bench press this thing today. All right? I'm talking to people that feel like you've been misunderstood. I want to come to tell you there's a cost to being called, and one of those costs is being misunderstood. All right? The Bible says in Luke 14:28, if anybody's going to build anything purposeful, you feel like you've been called to build something, called to do something, Luke 14:28 says, for which of you intending to build a tower, sit it not down first and count up the cost. There's a cost. Before you build something meaningfully, I want to let you know that you got to be able to count up the cost. And we're living in a generation that feel like everything that we get should be donated to us. If you're going to be rightfully anointed, you're going to have to get your checkbook ready. If you're going to walk in a great call, you're going to have to get your checkbook ready. Ma'am, sir, I want to let you know that there's a cost. I pray to God that I'm helping somebody. All right? I'm coming to a close soon. There is a moment in Scripture, I believe in the book of Matthew, somewhere around the 20th chapter, where a lady asked Jesus something. This woman approached Jesus and she asked if her sons can sit with him in his kingdom. That's what the woman asked. The woman saw this man and heard of his reputation and seen some of the great things that he was doing, and she wanted her sons to get in on that action. She thought enough of her sons to say, hey, if you would, take my sons under your wings. And this woman asked Jesus, could her sons sit with him in his kingdom? Can I tell you something about Jesus? Jesus, instead of answering her question, he asked her one. And the question that Jesus asked this lady is this. Jesus responded by saying, can they drink? Are they able to drink of the cup? That's what Jesus asked this lady. Yeah, if they possibly can sit with me in my kingdom. But he wanted to ask this woman a question, and the question that he asked the lady, can they drink from the cup? Do you hear me? I want to let you know that the cost of being called is the contents that's in that cup. Do you hear me? The cup represented the cost. And when you're called, you're going to have a cup. And if you're going to be rightfully called, you got to be willing to drink whatever's in the cup. The cup represented the cost. I want to help somebody that feel like you've been misunderstood. In the cup was suffering. In the cup was rejection. In the cup was misunderstanding. But I want to let you know something. Sometimes people want the seat, but they don't want the cup. I wish I could help somebody. Maybe I'm excited by myself today. Do you hear me, Sister Carla Alexander? Do you hear me today? I want to let you know that Jesus said, if your son's gonna walk with me, I want to know, can they sip the cup? Y'all ain't with me today. The cup represented the cost. And we're living in a time now where people want to seat, but they don't want to sip the cup. Do you hear me? And I want to tell you this. Sometimes you got to stop complaining about being misunderstood long enough to drink the cup. Yeah, if you're a person that know you've been called by God, sometimes you got to stop complaining about and singing songs like nobody knows the trouble I see, nobody knows but me. Do me a favor, put it in the chat and tell somebody, if you call, sometimes you got to shut up and drink the cup. It's a part of it. Drink the cup. Sometimes we got to stop complaining about being misunderstood long enough to drink the cup. I had to drink it. I'm still drinking it. Sometimes you got to stop worrying about people mishandling you and drink the cup. Sometimes you got to stop defending yourself against being misjudged long enough to drink the cup. Do me a favor, put that in the chat. Shut up and drink the cup. There's a cost to being called, and the cost of being called sometimes looks like a bitter cup. But it is Jesus' intention in following us, in us following him, which would allow us to know sometimes we got to be people that's able and willing to drink a bitter cup without becoming what's in the cup. Can you drink of a bitter cup and instead of getting bitter, get better? I'm talking to people that are called. I'm talking to people that feel like they've been misunderstood. Sometimes you got to learn how to drink bitter cups and not get bitter. Do you hear me? I'm talking to somebody. Drinking of a bitter cup without getting bitter, but getting better. I want to tell you something. Because the call of God is on your life, it comes with a cost, and the cost is the cup. Do you hear me? Give you a few examples of people. My God, somebody just put it in the chat and said, drink the cup. My God, sometimes you got to drink the cup. Scriptural reference, that was a man by the name of Jeremiah. He lived and died a life of being misunderstood simply because he was called. To the degree he was known as the weeping prophet. God raised him up to speak to a generation that had turned away from God. But Jeremiah, I want to tell you, God allowed Jeremiah to prophesy ahead of his time. 30, 40 years ahead of his time. So people made a mockery out of Jeremiah because it seems as if this prophet was a liar. Do you hear me? Many days Jeremiah wept because of what God gave him to speak to a people that he felt like didn't even want to hear it. Do you hear me? They rejected Jeremiah, and they're going to reject you. They criticized him, and sometimes they're going to criticize me. Do you hear me? They persecuted him, and sometimes in following the call, you're going to be persecuted as well. He was persecuted not because he was wrong, but the reason why Jeremiah was persecuted is because of a message, watch this, that God gave him. He was misunderstood because of a message that God gave him. Do you hear me? But Jeremiah, I want to tell you, faced something. People rejected the message, and if they reject the message, my God, they're going to also reject the messenger. And sometimes that's us. I wish I had a master class on here to talk to somebody to let you know exactly where we are in time right now. I call it in the 2 Timothy 4:3. All right. We're in a time now where those of us that name the name of Christ, what if God gives you a message that calls you to be misunderstood? Are you going to allow culture to change what you know God told you to tell them? Do you hear me? If they try to counsel you because of Christ, we get ready to operate. We get ready to see something in this world that many of us have not seen with our own eyes. But that's got to be some people that's willing to pay that cost, all right? I'll get into that later, but I want to let you know that the reason why he was misunderstood was because of a message that God put in his mouth. And sometimes when you're called, God will give us messages that will cause us to be misunderstood. But I want to tell somebody on this live, I'm willing to drink the cup. I understand it now. I'm willing to drink the cup. I want to talk to you about this in a deeper way, but today is not today. I got to keep on journeying. I want to tell you something. If you're a person of purpose, the cost of being misunderstood, that's a cost that comes with your call. And I want to tell you that sometimes it's going to cost you being misunderstood. The cost is inside of the cup. Do you hear me? I want to tell you, even Jesus himself, we ain't better than him. My God, even Jesus himself was misunderstood. John, we understand John 1:11, said this man came to his own, and his own received him not. He was misunderstood. So, and even as Jesus had drunk the cup of rejection, guess what? Sometimes we got to do that very same thing. Somebody wrote a song and said, must Jesus bear the cross alone and all the world go free? No, that's a cross and a cup for everyone, and that's one for me. And so I've got to be comfortable sometimes with being silent in noisy seasons about my side and allow time to tell the whole truth. You ain't always got to rush to tell your side, all right? Sometimes in certain moments of our life, we got to be willing to drink the cup. I'm closing. I'm coming to a close. So I want to tell somebody, so if you're walking in purpose and you find yourself being misunderstood, you're in good company. Sometimes the message you carry is the very thing that's going to cause you to be misunderstood. My God. And I want to tell you something. If you're going to sit at the table of a calling before the entree comes out, the lady will always ask you, what do you want to drink? If you're sitting at the table of your calling, when they give you the cup, guess what you got to do? You got to be willing to sip the cup, all right? If you are walking in purpose right now and you feel misunderstood in my clothes, I want to tell you something. You got to ask yourself a few questions. Am I trying to defend my reputation? Or am I truly trusting God? Do you hear me? Because when you understand who you are in purpose, you understand that sometimes you got to be in a season. Exodus, I believe Exodus says you got to have the ability to hold your peace. Do you hear me? I want to see your hands. When you're a person of purpose, even in catastrophic seasons, you got to have the ability sometime to hold your peace. All right? You don't got to fight for yourself. I belong to God. I don't have to seek vengeance because I'm being misunderstood. The Bible said vengeance don't belong to me. Vengeance belongs to the Lord. All I need to know is where to stand and what to hold. All right? I want somebody to put your hands out right now and encourage somebody that may be in your room and tell them, though you're going through a season where you're being misunderstood, your victory is predicated on your ability to take peace and hold it. Ask your neighbor the question, can you hold your peace? All right? I'm getting out of here, but I wanted to help somebody who felt like they were being in a place. My God, I see your hands where you've been misunderstood. All right. I want to tell you, if you're being misunderstood, you're in good company. Sometimes you're undergoing that because you're called. There is a cost to being called, and one of the costs is being misunderstood. All right. I pray today that I've said something that has helped somebody. All right. That's my prayer. I pray today that I said something to help somebody that feel as if you've been misunderstood and you're being misunderstood. I pray that I've said something that can help you out, okay? I'm coming to a close because I got to get on the road. I got some hours I got to put in, but I want to thank y'all for doing lunch with me. So as you know, I'm picking somebody that I'm paying lunch. I'm giving you lunch. I'm gifting you lunch. So do me a favor. I want you, my God, to put your Cash App handle, your Zelle handle in the chat right now. Yeah, there's a cost to being called, and that cost is revealed to us with a cup. All right, yeah, inside of the cup, sometimes it's misunderstanding, rejection, and things of that nature. All right, but we've got to be willing, those of us that know we're called, to drink the cup. All right, yeah, put your Cash App handle in the chat. I'm going to be gifting somebody lunch. All right, and also I want to give you this opportunity. If there's an individual on here that say, you know what, I've been enjoying lunch, and I've been appreciating the words that you've been saying. And maybe you're an individual that says, I want to know how to sow into this platform. Well, guess what? I'm putting it on the screen. If you want to help propel this platform, if you want to serve this platform, if something has been said today that has helped you in any kind of a way, all right, I want you, I'm giving you an opportunity to sow into the platform, all right? Sow into the platform. You can do so even now by way of Cash App or Zelle. Somebody might be saying, you know what? I want to help feed somebody. Guess what? I want to grant you that opportunity as well. And let you know, if you ate good and you really appreciate the food, guess what? Those of us who are in a place of appreciation will always tip the table. And I'm a good tipper, all right? I'm a good tipper. I go to certain restaurants and they fighting to come to my table because they know I tip well, all right? So I want to give y'all that opportunity to do so, all right? I'm seeing y'all in the chat. Listen, I told y'all got to be active in the chat, all right? And so that's one of the things that we've got to do that's going to help us or grant us that opportunity, all right, to be one of them ones that's getting lunch today, okay? All right. So I need a drum roll in the chat. Drum roll, please, in the chat. Drum roll in the chat. I'm getting ready to pick somebody. I need a drum roll. I don't see you. I need a drum roll in the chat. All right. Drum roll in the chat. I'm getting ready to bless somebody. All right. Listen. The first person that I'm blessing today is going to be Rosie Gibson. All right. Rosie Gibson. Congratulations. Y'all give a congratulations shout out. Rosie Gibson, I want to tell you that guess what? Your lunch today is going to be on me. All right. Your lunch is going to be on me. I'm getting ready to choose somebody else, y'all, that's been active in the chat. All right. Somebody else that's active in the chat. Guess what I want to tell you? That's what I want to tell you. I think I got that person. I think I got that person. All right. I'm looking for you. Come on. Continue to drop your Cash App in the chat. All right. Listen, I'm also going to be gifting Sarah Buns. Congratulations. I want to tell you today that your lunch is on me. Thank y'all for joining me, getting active in the chat. Before I get off of here, I want to let you know there's some great things that is coming up. The BBA Men's Ministry presents Build Him Up. The host is none other than Apostle Rodney Beard. And I want to let you know that there's going to be some great speakers that's at this event. All right, March the 16th, my brother, my cousin, Pastor Jeremiah Beard will be kicking us off. Yours truly will be in there that next day, which is the 17th. And I already got my people on board. The guys at my church, listen, we already getting loaded up, getting geared up, getting ready to travel to Moss Point to be a part of what God is doing on that side. Also, March the 18th is going to be Apostle Opal Nobles. My God, great woman of God, has a great story, and I want to tell you great testimony, and I'm just proud to be a part of it. Also, Louisiana, we will be with you that same week, March the 19th and the 20th, for the Father and Son Revival, all right? They're in Reserve, Louisiana. So I'm expecting some of my Louisiana family to join me on that side. Myself, as well as the chief, my spiritual and biological father, will be in revival there with Apostle Earl Gerard Sr. It's going up. And so I want y'all to meet me there. I appreciate you all for your love and also for your support. And I am thankful unto God that you have taken out your lunchtime to join me today for Lunch on Me. Same time, same place, next Wednesday. Meet me in the chat. It's going up. All right. I appreciate y'all.